Okay guys, we're going to start our jack-o'-lantern with the face. So we're going to start right here in the middle with 2 oval eyes, and it's fine if you're using black or brown crayon. And they don't have to be perfect. I'm drawing them nice and big, kind of about the size of my thumb, but your thumb is smaller than mine. And this one's a little bit smaller than that one, but that's okay, I can fix that later. Okay, then we're going to make a triangle nose. I'm gonna curve it just a little bit because when we cut things out, a lot of times they end up kind of curved. Okay, and then I'm going to start over here where I would normally make a smile. I'm going to start a smile, and then when I get to the nose, I'm going to stop and go down, over, up, and finish my smile. And then I'm going to make the bottom of my smile by starting back here where I started the first time and curve down. Then I'm going to stop. Right now I'm lined up with that first eye and go up, over, down, and smile back over to that one. Okay. Now, to make these look a little more three-dimensional, we're going to add a line on the inside of the oval. That's a copycat line, and it's just copying what that outside line was already doing. Now, remember I said mine is a little bit small compared to this one. So when I do this one, I'm going to make that copycat line go on the outside, but you can make yours go on the inside depending on the size of your eyes. And then I'm just gonna do the same thing right here where the nose is. And down here where the mouth is, I'm doing the same thing again. Copycat line on the bottom. And it's just a little slim line. It's going to make it look a little more 3D, like it pops out. Okay, now I'm going to make the outside shape. So I'm going to find the spot right between the eyes, but above it a little bit. I'm starting there, and I'm going to go around and stop when I get down here below the mouth. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing on this side, going in the other direction. Notice I went up a little bit, and then around, and stop when you get to the bottom. Gonna darken that up a little bit. Okay, now I'm adding the stem. So where it dips in here, I'm going to come up, curve a little bit, and back down. And the stem has lines, texture lines a lot of times. So I'm just gonna add some lines here. And our pumpkins have curved lines. So I'm going to make one line that curves this way with the shape of the outside line. So it's kind of going together. And another one that goes this way. And if you run into your mouth or any of the other parts, you just go behind them. So you stop and then you pick up where you left off. And I'm going to do another one here. Okay, and one more of these pumpkin lines curving this direction, and I get to the eye and stop, get to the mouth and stop, get to the bottom and stop. Okay, that's good. So that helps us to see how pumpkins are formed because they always have those little bumps. Okay, now we're going to color them in. Okay, now we're going to color it in. The next thing we need to do is find a yellow, and we're going to color in the cutouts of the eyes, nose, and mouth so it will look like it's lit up from inside like a jack-o'-lantern. Next, I'm going to add my dark orange. So you're looking for an orange that looks a little bit darker than the regular orange, and it's really just a red orange. It's mixed a little bit with red, which makes it look darker. If you can't find a red orange, then just use regular orange, but press harder, and that will make it darker. So here's the difference. If I press lightly, it looks like this. If I press harder, it looks like that. Okay, so if you can't find the red orange, you can do the dark orange by pressing harder. But I'm going to take my red orange, since I could find one, and I'm going around the outline of my pumpkin. And that will help to make it look a little bit shaded when I'm finished. So I'm just following all the way around it. Trying to color really neatly, trying to stay on the inside of the pumpkin because I have other things I want to put outside of the pumpkin. Okay, so I just did a dark orange all the way around the outside. I'm also going to do it on these parts where I did the copycat line on the inside of the eyes. And on the inside of the nose. And on the inside of the mouth. Okay. Now I'm going to switch back to my regular orange and color it in. And I'm just going to let them kind of overlap. So my regular orange is going right over top of my red orange, the darker orange that I added around the edge. And when I get to those lines I drew, I'm just going right over them because mine is brown and it just blends in pretty well. If yours are black and they seem to be smudging, then just don't overlap, just kind of go inside of the lines. It's a lot of coloring We're coloring pretty hard too, trying to make the color really show up. So if you need to take breaks, that's okay. And now I'm just going to speed up the video while I finish up. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but my arms are tired. All right, so now I'm going to do the stem. Get all those little crayon bits off and do the stem. The stem of the pumpkin can be green or brown depending on how long it's been since it was picked. So I am going to get out both colors and just use a little bit of both. I have those texture lines I already did. If you didn't get to that, go ahead and do that now. Just add some little texture lines so we can see what that pumpkin stem really looks like. And then I'm going to color in the green and just let it go over the brown and mix. If you had black, you can still add in a little bit of green and brown. So I've got the green, and then I'm just going to come back and fill it in a little bit with brown. So now you can see a little bit of both. Okay. Now I need to fill in the background. So usually our pumpkins are sitting out on a porch or in the grass. And if you remember, Miss Rumphius had pumpkins everywhere in the story Too Many Pumpkins that we read last week. So I'm going to make my pumpkin in the grass, and I'm going to do a zigzag line here and here to show that grass, and then you could add some more zigzags in around the bottom here, like that. And then I'm going to color all of that in. You could do this with green, or you could do it with black if you wanted to, or even the brown would be fine. And then I also want to make the sky, and I think since the pumpkin is all lit up from inside, I think I'll put a big moon out here. And I'm going to leave it a little bit white, a little bit yellow. And then I'll be coloring in around it for the sky. So remember, there's no empty white space outside. So for your background, your grass and your sky need to meet. So there is no empty white space. And I'll show you what I mean as I'm coloring it in. And I'm just going to speed up my video. Now, if you are doing nighttime sky, you'll want either a really dark blue or a black. Or if you want to do a daytime sky, you would want a blue or a light blue. So I'm going to look for a midnight blue. This one is good. This one is indigo. It's broken, so I'm just going to peel it off a little bit. when I'm coloring really fast and I get to the edge, sometimes it does make the paper pull up like that. So it really helps if you put your fingers on the edge and hold it tight. Notice that I've always got another hand on my paper while I'm coloring. You have to have that other hand helping to hold it still. Okay, I'm gonna go back and add a little bit more around my moon. And I added some lines to make it look a little wispy and windy in the background. And I think I'm done. Good job, guys.